Hey guys, it's Zoe here. Today we're going to be talking about all of the new pieces of info we've got on 9.2. It's been crazy how much new stuff has just come out in the last couple of days, so I'm going to have to try and go through it as quickly and as clearly as possible. So in 9.2, we're going to be going to a new zone called Zereth Mortis. If you haven't seen the developer update video, there's a great video they released that shows all the artworks and outlines briefly a little bit of what you're going to get. I'll link to it in the description below. So they let us know in the video that there will be class sets returning. We're going to have Tazavesh for Mythic Plus. We're not going to have any more systems tied to player power than we already do, but we are going to get progressively stronger in Zereth Mortis through some sort of talent tree system that gives you buffs when you're in the zone. I'm just excited to see what direction they take this in. Zereth Mortis looks actually beautiful. I really enjoyed the aesthetic. I love that shot of the water where you can kind of see underwater. It kind of looks like a hidden world. So in Zereth Mortis, we are going to be able to unlock flying, hopefully pretty soon into the patch. I think this is great. I don't really enjoy running around places for too long. We've also got a glimpse at all of the new mounts that we're going to potentially be seeing in 9.2. This includes new Morat mount. We've also got new PvP mounts. It appears there are two. So a wolf for both Alliance and Horde and a frog for both Alliance and Horde. We also have had a look at the new Mythic Plus 2k score achievement mount. This is the kind of thing I was expecting to see from the first recolor. I'm looking forward to flexing this hopefully pretty soon in the patch. We've also got this weird little bird mount. I'm not sure how we're going to get it, but I think it's pretty cool. We also got a look at the snail mounts. I think these are absolutely awesome. I've always wanted to ride around on a giant snail. The mount special is wonderful. Speaking of new mounts, there are two new things on the in-game store. It always feels like a bad time to release them, but that's actually because it's probably not a great thing to release them in general. There are these wonderful little baby Murloc backpacks if you buy the 6-month sub, and I am in love with them. But then I don't want to commit 6 months worth of money to Blizzard. The other thing we got in the shop is this beautiful astral transmog. It has like a constellation under your feet and all these visual effects that whirl around your character. This looks incredible. And it's kind of sad that we don't get to enjoy this in-game through hard work. I don't have a problem with cosmetics costing money. What I do have a problem with is that there's no alternatives available in-game to the ones on the store. What we get is loads of reskins of old mounts in the game. All of the unique mounts seem to go on the store. I think it should be the other way around. I think being greedy right now is not really the look Blizzard should be going for. In relevant news, over 500 of Activision Blizzard employees have signed a petition declaring no confidence in CEO Bobby Kotick. This is after the news came out that he's actually threatened to kill one of his previous employees in the past on a voicemail, and also that he had been covering up the behavior of some of his staff members who had been involved in the sexual harassment of employees. The board have put out a statement saying they stand with Bobby Kotick, but we'll have to see for how long. I think the pressure is just going to build and build and build. I think it's time to say goodbye to Bobby. What are your guys' opinions on Bobby? Do you think that he is being unfairly targeted, or do you think that we need to get rid of Bobby and get someone new in? In 9.2, we're going to be seeing some new maps for Arena. I'm all in for adding new maps. I think this is great. Keep adding in new stuff to make sure our environment feels fresh. Now, when we watched the announcement video initially, people believed that these would be our mythic sets seen in the video, but it appears that these aren't. We now believe that these gold and red looks are the mythic difficulty appearances, which I think the community is sighing with relief over. Not all of these sets look incredible, but I think some of them are actually kind of decent. I love the DK set. It is a bit cutesy, but I think it's lovely. The Demon Hunter set looks great in my eyes. The Druid set kind of looks like Rudolph. It's future space reindeer. The Hunter set still looks trash. The Mage set is a bit understated, but kind of looks cool. The Monk set looks strange. The Paladin set looks amazing. The Priest set looks pretty cool. The Rogue set looks phenomenal. The Shaman set looks dope. The Warlock set looks racist. And the warrior set looks strange. We actually have an update where Blizzard has said they didn't realize that the warlock set from, you know, if you squint, you might notice that this kind of reminds you of something slightly southern. It's the KKK robe. Take off the shoulder pads. It's the KKK robe. They tweeted out that they recognize and they hear the community and they're going to change it. So I'm not sure what they're going to do with it, but I'm afraid you can't live your full KKK fantasy anymore. Unlucky for all those secret Klansmen playing World of Warcraft. And I know you are out there. In 9.2, we are going to be getting a thing called solo queue for PvP. So what it's going to do is it's going to take 6 people, it's going to match them up, then it's going to try every possible combination. I think this could be really interesting. I really like it when they experiment with new game modes. So we got to look at the zone progression system here. This is going to be the Cypher of the first ones. As we learn the language of the creatures in Zereth Mortis, we're going to unlock information and knowledge. So it's basically a rep grind with a few world buffs. We've also found out that we're going to be having a legendary belt that can switch when you switch covenants, so you don't have to craft 4 different legendaries. Hallelujah. Why not just make all of our original covenant legendaries switch depending on the covenant so that I don't have to recraft it, but that sounds like too much work for them. We also have a new druid cheetah form. It looks like a taxidermy cat because its tail's stuck out, but I don't think it's meant to actually sit like that. This looks cool. I am glad to have a new cheetah form, even though I am a deer or a weird bird most of the time. In 9.2, we won't have to go to Torghast anymore. Hey! So the currency we need to upgrade our legendary is going to come from Torghast or Zereth Mortis. So you don't need to do Torghast if you don't want to anymore, even though they said that about the more assaults. But we'll see. Torghast is going to have cosmetics added to it and more levels, but I don't think they're going to do anything with gear or player power or anything like that with it. They're also going to be making a lot more open rooms with lots of mobs rather than twisty, corridory kind of maps. We've also got a look at the new Incubus. So this is our succubus's male counterpart. You'll probably be able to change this depending on a glyph or something. I think this is cool. Probably gonna get it because I think he looks pretty fucking sexy. We have data mined some of the appearances for the weapons in the new raid. The new raid is going to be called Sepulture of the First Ones. I can't say that properly. Don't hold me to it. We have some cool axes, crossbows. I'm pretty happy with these appearances. I think they could have been cooler, but I think also they're not the worst. I think these little daggers with the little gems and sparkles in them are so cool. I want to get every single color of it, even if that means going into Raid Finder. I quite like the gear aesthetic. I quite like the zone aesthetic. I like the armor with the tattered cloths and the bright lights and the kind of futuristic but also old-timey kind of thing meshed together. I think it's a really cool aesthetic. So I'm not too mad that the tier sets are modeled around the aesthetic from Zereth Mortis rather than modeled around the class aesthetic, though I would quite like to get back to class aesthetics at some point in the future. We also got a look at these strange Transmog sets that aren't related to the tier sets or anything. I'm not sure how we're going to be able to get these, but they look pretty nice. So they've released the list of bosses that we will be seeing in the new Sepulture of the First Ones. We are going to be having 11 bosses. Anduin's going to be our 8th, and the Jailer is going to be our 11th. We are only going to be able to do the first 8 in the first week of normal and heroic, just so that apparently they have time to flesh out the story between the time that we defeat Anduin and we defeat the Jailer. This will be interesting to watch the Race to World first, to see them go in against some of the mythic bosses without that N-level heroic loot. So here's a list of the bosses. Some of you guys might know some of these or understand why these guys are here. We've got Zymox returning. We've got Anduin. We've got the Lords of Dread. We've got Skolex, whoever that is, but we've also got all of their moves. So if you're really interested in how these raid fights are going to look and trying to piece them together, then I'll link the information in the description down below so you can have a look at all of the different moves that some of these bosses do. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about the tier sets. So they have introduced tier sets and tier set appearances back. Every class's tier set bonuses have been released. So if you're interested in what you're going to be getting and how this is going to change your class, I'll link the info in the description down below. We've got the DK set bonuses here. We have the Demon Hunters set bonuses. People were commenting that these feel slightly boring, so hopefully maybe they'll change it up a little bit. We have the Druid set bonuses. Now, as a Resto Druid, I'm a little bit disappointed that these aren't a little more exciting. I have a lot of AoE healing. I also have a lot of burst healing, but I was hoping for something that kind of brings Druid back up to the same footing as the other healers, maybe give us something to do with a small damage reduction. I'm not quite sure, but that would have been cool. But instead we just get throughput. Here are the Hunter ones. I really hope this switches up the meta or changes something fundamental within each of our classes. Here are the Mage ones. The Fire one looks pretty interesting. Here are the Monk ones. I'm feeling kind of bad for Mistweavers because their 4 set encourages them to stand still during boss fights, which might not always be particularly doable. People have already commented that they are very scared of the Windwalker one. Here are the Paladin ones. The Holy Paladin one seems fucking broken. I know that this is the early stages, so anything that is too ridiculous will probably be changed, hopefully by 9.2, and anything that's too underwhelming will be buffed. But the only way that happens is through communication with the devs, so that they know that something is absolutely absurdly broken. Here are the Priest ones. The Disc Priest one looks pretty good. Get those instant free Shadow Mends out. I think this will be something to keep Disc Priest's mana being in the same realm as the other healers, because right now it's just mandatory that you give at least 1, preferably 2 innovates to a Disc Priest, just so that they are able to play their class. The Holy one looks pretty boring. I know the Holy Priests are already whining. I do feel bad for Holy Priests though, because they are absolutely a bin. Here are the Rogue ones. They look pretty interesting. I've never played a rogue though, so do let me know if you're a rogue player. Are these good? Are these bad? Which one's the best? Are you going to play a different spec next year because of this? Here are the Shaman ones, and because I'm a healer, I instantly looked at the healing one, and this looks absolutely cracked. Why are they getting to reduce Spirit Link's cooldown based on their crit? I swear Resto Shamans stack crit already. Spirit Link is one of the most overpowered cooldowns in the entire game, and now they get to reduce the cooldown of it based on their crits. I know that they don't use Chain Heal right now, but I'm sure some crafty little Resto Shaman's going to work out a build that absolutely slams using Chain Heal. Here are the Warlock ones. I don't know if these are interesting or not. Please let me know, any Warlock players in the comments. The Destruction one, summoning an Infernal, seems crazy. Imagine that in PvP. And here are the Warrior ones. I know Warriors have been given a bit of a rough time recently. Hopefully some of these can make you guys a little bit more viable in the raid. In Zereth Mortis, we are going to be crafting mounts using resources, which I think is interesting. We've had a sneak peek at some of the new little pets and mounts that we will be able to craft. There's going to be a whole host of new mounts added in, like there is every patch. So let's have a look at some of these. We've got these cute little hedgehoggy things. We've got deers, we've got spiders. We have cute little bunnies, we've got crickets, we've got an orb, we've got jellyfish. I'll link the full list in the description down below so that you can have a look at some of these, because there are lots. Tell me what you're most excited for in 9.2 and what you would like to see introduced in 9.2 and what you wouldn't like to see in 9.2. That is all the news I have as of now. I know there's been so much of it. If you enjoy my content, you can support me by liking or subscribing to my channel. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will be making more videos when more news comes out. I stream over at twitch.tv/411games if you would like to come over and chat. I will be online most evenings. Look after yourselves. Stay safe, guys. Take care. Bye.